Hi, Mark here from Non-Religious Church. You know, often we're asked, shouldn't you be calling your church non-denominational and not non-religious? I don't blame people for being confused. Non-religious church, it's confusing, right? Until you understand the semantics of how we're defining religion. And in order to help people with that, we've created another video entitled Non-Religious Defined. You might want to view that so you can get the heart of the definition of non-religious church. Back in 1979, my dad moved here to Hawaii. I was already here, but I joined with him, and he wanted to start a non-denominational church. Now, this was back in 1979, and that was almost unheard of. In fact, I remember him telling me that his colleague pastor friends downplayed this whole idea. You can't do that, they say. You going out from underneath the umbrella of denominations, you'll be out there on your own. It won't work. But my dad was a maverick, and he pushed forward, and he created one of the first non-denominational churches here in Hawaii. Look around your community today. Denominational churches, like mainland denominational churches, aren't as prevalent today as they were 40 years ago. However, non-denominational churches, they're on every corner. They take on names like The Rock or The Bridge or so-and-so community church. But whether it's non-denominational or denominational, they all have one thing in common, and they are operating within a structure. They have to. The structure is based on theological teaching and beliefs that particular organization espouses. And if you come and you want to be a part of that organization, you are required to believe and to align yourself with that church's belief system. So when you attend one of these houses of worship, you can always go up to the leadership and you can ask them for a statement of beliefs or a doctrinal statement, and they will give it to you. And basically that tells you what they are going to be teaching, what they want you to believe, what you must believe if you're going to align yourself with that particular organization. So what non-denominational churches and denominational churches have in common is structure. They have to have structure in order to preserve the purity of what they believe and how it's taught. And therein lies the difference between non-religious church and denominational churches and non-denominational churches. When you come to non-religious church, you don't have to believe in anything. There's no belief system that's required of you. You can choose to believe whatever makes sense to you. Now, that does not mean that people who come to non-religious church don't have strong belief systems in place. I know I do. But when I share my beliefs, I share them in an atmosphere and an attitude of dignity and respect, not insisting that other people believe the same way that I do. And that's the spirit that we have developed, the atmosphere that we've developed here at Non-Religious Church. In other words, non-religious means let's take away that structure. You must believe as I do, and let's leave it open-ended so people can listen to what other people believe, and they can deposit into their heart what they choose to believe, what makes sense to them. For example, one of our values here at Non-Religious Church is to consult the Bible for wisdom and direction. Now, many people who come to Non-Religious Church believe that the Bible is God's word to us without error. But other people have a hard time with that belief, and it was written long time ago by men. It appears to have consistencies and was written in a culture that seems to not be relevant to us today. So when sharing our particular beliefs, we can do so and we can talk about why we believe the way we do, but we just don't insist that others believe what we believe. That's the atmosphere, and that's the difference between non-religious church and other denominations and non-denominational churches. There's an open-ended atmosphere that is contained by emotional safety, by love, by acceptance, and non-judgment. Non-religious church. It's not for everybody. Is it for you?